The walls are closing in, and for the first time in a long time, Donald Trump looks like a man who knows it. What we are witnessing right now is not just another bad news cycle or another temporary setback that can be brushed off with a rally speech or a late-night post on social media. This is something much bigger. This is the slow, public unravelling of a political empire built on dominance, fear, and constant confrontation. As legal pressure mounts, allies drift away, and reality begins to bite, Trump's carefully crafted image of total control is cracking right before our eyes. For years, Trump survived controversy by overwhelming the public with chaos. Scandals would pile up, but before anyone could fully process one, he would ignite another. It was a strategy that worked shockingly well. But that strategy depends on one crucial thing: power. And power is exactly what Trump is losing. Without the Oval Office, without unquestioned loyalty from his party, and without the legal immunity he once enjoyed, Trump is now facing consequences he can no longer tweet away. Behind the scenes, sources describe a man increasingly isolated and furious. Meetings turn into shouting matches. Advisors are blamed, fired, or pushed aside. Lawyers struggle to keep up as case after case stacks up, each one more serious than the last. This is not the Trump of 2016, confidently bulldozing his way through the political system. This is a man reacting, lashing out, and trying desperately to hold together a collapsing world. The legal reality alone would be enough to shake any politician. Criminal indictments, civil trials, financial penalties, and the constant threat of more charges on the horizon have transformed Trump NS daily life into a legal nightmare. Courtrooms have replaced campaign stages, and judges now have more control over his future than voters do. Each ruling chips away at the myth that Trump is untouchable, and that myth was always the foundation of his power. What makes this moment especially dangerous for Trump is that his usual defences are failing. Attacking the justice system worked when his supporters believed he was being targeted simply for being an outsider. But now, even some longtime allies are struggling to defend the sheer volume and severity of the accusations. When everything is framed as a witch hunt, eventually people start asking an uncomfortable question: how many witches does it take before the story stops making sense? Inside the Republican Party, cracks are turning into open fractures. Lawmakers who once raced to defend Trump are suddenly choosing their words carefully or staying silent altogether. Some are openly distancing themselves, focusing instead on their own political survival. They see the polls, they hear from donors, and they understand a hard truth. Trump may no longer be an asset, he is becoming a liability. This shift is infuriating Trump, and it shows. His public outbursts have grown more erratic, more personal, and more desperate. He lashes out at judges, prosecutors, former allies, and even conservative media outlets that dare to question him. The tone is no longer confident defiance. It's raw anger mixed with fear. This is what a meltdown looks like when it's happening in real time. Financial pressure is adding another layer to the collapse. Massive legal fees, fines, and judgments are draining resources that once seemed limitless. Fundraising emails sound increasingly frantic, warning supporters that this is their last chance to save him, democracy, or the country itself. But urgency loses its power when it's used every single week. Even loyal supporters can feel fatigue, especially when money keeps flowing out and victories never seem to come back. Trump's businesses, once marketed as symbols of success, are now under intense scrutiny. Court rulings have questioned valuations, credibility, and long-standing claims about wealth and influence. This strikes at the core of Trump's identity. More than being a politician, Trump has always sold himself as a winner, a master deal-maker. When courts begin dismantling that image piece by piece, the damage goes far beyond politics. It becomes personal. Meanwhile, the media landscape has changed. Trump no longer dominates the news cycle the way he once did. Yes, he still generates headlines, but now he shares space with stories about consequences, accountability, and decline. The spectacle is no longer entertaining for everyone. For many Americans, it's exhausting, and exhaustion does not motivate voters. It pushes them away. Perhaps the most striking sign of collapse is how Trump talks about the future. Gone are the grand visions and bold promises. In their place are grievances, threats, and warnings of doom if he is not restored to power. This is not a campaign built on hope or inspiration. It is built on fear, resentment, and personal survival, and that shift reveals everything about the state of his world. Trump's inner circle has also shrunk. Loyalists remain, but the talent pool is thinner, less experienced, and more extreme. Many seasoned political professionals want nothing to do with a campaign overshadowed by trials and potential convictions. This leaves Trump surrounded by people who tell him what he wants to hear, reinforcing his worst instincts and deepening the spiral. As election pressures collide with legal deadlines, Trump faces an impossible balancing act. Court appearances interfere with campaign events. Statements made for political gain are scrutinized by judges. Every word carries risk. The freedom he once had to say anything, anywhere, at any time is gone. And for someone who thrives on attention and control, that loss is devastating. What we are witnessing is not just a political downturn, it's a psychological one. Trump's anger is no longer strategic, it's emotional, it's reactive. The insults are sharper, the accusations broader, and the tone darker. This is the sound of someone realizing that shouting louder will not stop what's coming. Supporters still exist, of course, and they are loud. But loyalty alone cannot overturn court decisions, erase evidence, or reverse time. The institutions Trump spent years attacking are now the ones determining his fate, and despite his constant claims to the contrary, they are not bending. History is filled with powerful figures who believed their influence would protect them forever. Most of them discovered too late that no one is bigger than reality. Trump is now approaching that moment. The strategies that once carried him through scandal after scandal are failing, one by one. As his political world collapses, Trump's meltdown is not a single explosive event, but a slow burn. It's visible in every angry post, every courtroom loss, every former ally who quietly steps away. This is what decline looks like when it happens in public, under a spotlight, with nowhere to hide. The coming months will only intensify this pressure. More rulings, more revelations, more moments where Trump is forced to confront limits he has never accepted. Whether he admits it or not, the era of total dominance is over. What remains is a fight for relevance, survival, and legacy, and that may be the most painful collapse of all.